Years ago, I was walking through part of a store when a strangely familiar scent had crossed my nose. I stopped right there in my tracks, and anyone looking at me would have thought or asked, "What's the matter? Are you all right?" I was immediately thrown back over 50 years as I was running down a stairway at my old elementary school back in Florida. This is a place where I only attended 1 year, but I could see that moment, all the details that I had experienced. How? How can that be possible? Well, one of our 5 senses has the ability to do just that. Stick around and find out more about it today.
Welcome to High Strangeness, where we ask questions and explore all that is strange and unexpected in our reality.
Welcome to High Strangeness, the podcast where we dive into the mysterious, the bizarre, and the unexpected. I'm your host, Tony, and today we're exploring one of the strangest senses of all, the one we often forget about, your smell. While sight and sound dominate our world, smell works in the shadows, quietly shaping our memories, emotions, and even our behavior. Today we look at the hidden power of this forgotten sense. Our sense of smell begins when tiny odor molecules drift into the nose and bind with receptors. These signals travel straight to the olfactory bulb, an ancient part of the brain. And here's the strange part. Unlike sight and sound, smell doesn't pass through the brain's main relay center, the thalamus. Instead, it makes a direct line to the limbic system, the brain's emotional and memory hub. This shortcut may be why smell feels so powerful and sometimes so haunting.
A smell hits you and boom, you're not here anymore. You're 7 years old, dripping ice cream down your hand like you've never heard of napkins. Or lying in your grandma's rose garden, or sitting in your old classroom wondering why the erasers smelled weirdly delicious. And you didn't decide to remember that. Your nose just hijacked your brain like a sneaky little weirdo. But here's the wild part. How exactly are we smelling memories in the first place?
In today's world, sight and sound rule. Think TV, music, digital screens. Smell feels invisible, hard to measure, hard to record, and impossible to text or stream. But for our ancestors, smell was survival. It told them if food was safe, if predators were near, or if a fire was burning. In many ways, smell was the first warning system, and maybe the last truly primal sense we still carry.
In nature, chemosignaling is critical to survival.
Signals are all around us. They don't realize it, but these plants are talking to each other. When some plant over here gets attacked by an insect, it releases an airborne chemical that floats all around, and these other trees kind of smell it in their way. And then they produce toxins so these insects don't come and eat their leaves.
So they're actually warning each other, their neighbours, about insect attacks.
Yeah.
Even birds have been shown to pick up this smell and help ward off the insect attack by eating the invaders. It's a chemical interaction that's evolved over millions of years, just like many other odorous forms of communication between plants and animals.
Neuroscientist Richard Doty calls smell one of the most complex yet overlooked senses. And Gordon Shepherd once asked, "Are we better at smelling than we think?" His answer was yes. In fact, humans can detect over 1 trillion different odors. Think about that. Your nose may be far more powerful and stranger than you ever imagined.
Some people call this the lizard brain. It's the lower part of the brain, and it activates very primal circuits in our brains that have been with us since we were fish or lizards.
It's also why almost everyone has responses to different smells that trigger distant memories. Nothing transports me back to my early years quite like the warm, earthy smell of a horse's hide.
soon as you trigger those olfactory memories, you're just taken back to your childhood. You know, for me, smell of bread. I'm taken back to this cabin up in Minnesota, United States, and when I'm 14, I got a shaggy dog, and I have a sauna, and I'm sitting there. That's that memory, and I can't stop it from happening.
There is nothing quite like the smell of freshly baked bread. And this morning, there's a heady mix of warm dough and spices that can be smelt from quite a distance. It leads us down the path to one of the most important evolutionary purposes of smell,
Smells so good.
Yeah.
This is just out of the oven.
to give us information about what we're eating.
How's the cake? What do you taste?
So good. I taste cream cheese and, well, flour and it's sweet. Raspberry or strawberry, raspberry, I think.
Take your next bite, but plug your nose and see what you taste.
Sweet and cold. No raspberries.
No raspberries.
No raspberries.
So they're gone because those are odors. When you plug your nose, you miss all that. So a lot of what we perceive as flavor when we eat food is smells.
So what can we taste with our taste buds?
There's basically 5: salt, sweet, bitter, sour, and a savory type of flavor. But we don't get all the complex odors that we get when we use our nose.
Without my sense of smell, all the delicacy and joy of this food, all the hard work of the bakers and pastry makers would be completely lost.
It goes up back through the mouth, and if you block your nose and you block air transport from your mouth up, then there's no flavor.
Oh, that's amazing.
To demonstrate this for yourself, try to decipher the flavors of jelly beans without your nose.
Any flavor?
So far.
Maybe sourish?
I got like a sweetness, but I don't know the flavor.
Okay, now let go of your nose.
Popcorn.
Excellent.
Like there is, but I can't tell.
Okay, now let go of your nose.
I can't tell the flavor. It's a lot stronger.
Before that, I could just taste the sweet and sour,
Right.
but now I could taste it's fruity.
That medicine flavor that Starburst has.
Oh, yeah, it's apple. It's apple. Definitely. Yeah. A green apple. Definitely got the fruit flavor, and definitely stronger and sweeter when it was my nose was unblocked.
Cherry.
For us, momentarily losing our smell is an amusing joke.
So maybe smell isn't so forgotten after all. It lingers in memory, drives our emotions, and nudges our choices more than we realize. Next time you catch a scent, whether it's fresh rain or your grandmother's cookies, or even the sharp sting of smoke, remember, your brain is experiencing one of the strangest and most powerful forces of nature.
A smell has the potential to bring on a flood of memories. Chlorine might remind you of swimming pools you visited as a child, or pine of the Christmas trees you decorated during the festive season. But why does smell act as such a powerful memory trigger? The olfactory system is incredibly complex, with at least 1,000 different smell receptor types that regenerate throughout your lifetime and adapt according to what you're used to smelling. The end result is that we are able to discriminate between a vast number of different kinds of smells. Despite this, we find it difficult to describe smells, as our naming system isn't as developed as the other senses. We tend to name smells after the thing that produces it, such as fresh bread or wet dog. Within your brain, the areas responsible for smell and memory are closely related. The olfactory bulb is part of the brain responsible for processing smells. It sits next to the hippocampus, which is a conversion point for information arriving from all over the cortex. Neuroscientists have shown that the hippocampus is crucial for creating new memories. When a person suffers damage to this area, their ability to identify smells becomes impaired. In order to identify a smell, you need to be able to remember where you smelt it before and connect it with the visual information that occurred at the same time. Other research has shown that studying information in the presence of a smell can actually increase the vividness of the remembered information when you experience the smell again. So, if you're studying while burning essential oils or in a room with this particular smell, Your brain will link the information you're taking in with the smells around you.
Thanks for joining me today on High Strangeness, and if you like a variety of strange and unexpected topics each week, well, then subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave a like, as this helps us with those algorithms and with our reach to others. Well, aside from that, though, remember there's a lot of strange and unexpected in our reality, so always keep your eyes, ears, and minds open, and until next time, stay safe.
Thank you for listening to High Strangeness. This was a glance at some of the strange that exists in our reality.